Elon students loaded up and headed to Fayetteville, one of the communities most affected by last weekend's tornadoes. Our Monica Yantosh followed along and has more.
I've always wondered how people cleaned up after tornadoes.
This weekend, junior Megan Murray and a crew of volunteers found out.
Just seemed like common sense that I should want to come help.
Anthony Pratt is among the students who teamed up with Methodist University. They helped locals pick up the downed trees, shingles, and other debris scattered around the yards.
It was quite eye-opening.
While the students were awestruck, those they were helping weren't so concerned.
I mean, I'm luckier than most, I guess, because I've heard there's been a lot of people who lost their entire homes and really had to start from scratch. And if you look, most of mine, it's just cleanup.
A tree fell onto Danny Averett's back porch. Methodist has been working with him since Tuesday.
They came in, asked if they could help clean up, and you wouldn't believe it, but yesterday, if you looked out here, you couldn't even see this yard.
Averett says the cleanup would be much worse without help from the community. Students like Murray were just happy to be part of a frontline team making a difference.
I didn't figure we would get this far so quickly, geez.
Monica Yantosh, Phoenix 14 News Tonight.
If you missed this weekend's service trip and would still like to help out, contact the Kernodle Center for service opportunities.
There are opportunities to help with tornado relief efforts in communities of 2 Elon students. Head to Country Club Lanes on May 3rd to support junior Aaron Millette. His grandmother's Sanford home was severely damaged by last weekend's tornadoes. 2 games of bowling and shoes cost $10, and 5 of those dollars will be donated to the Millettes. The event starts at 7 p.m. and for more information, check out the Facebook group Roll Over to Recovery. Support the Millettes.
Here's a different way to help another Elon student. Eat at Fat Frog Wednesday to help communities devastated by recent tornadoes. Sigma Phi Epsilon Fraternity and Kappa Delta Sorority are hosting a profit share with Fat Frog. 10% of the proceeds will go to help neighbors with ties to Elon battered by tornadoes. Last week, Phoenix 14 brought you the story of Gayla Carr, an Elon student whose community of Clinton, North Carolina was devastated by the tornado. The manager of Fat Frog is happy he can help Carr and her community.
The cool thing about it is people come in, they have a good time, the staff knows what they're doing and what they're doing it for, and so it means more to them. And in the long run, everyone feels more rewarded, and everyone wins. So it's kind of you can't really beat it.
A study linking a hormone in some birth control pills to blood clots and the risk you take when you tan. That's what we're following on Phoenix 14's Health Watch.
New research shows that women who use newer versions of birth control are at higher risks of developing blood clots. They found that a chemical in newer types of birth control pills like Yasmin, Yaz, and Ocella is 2 to 3 times more likely to develop blood clots. That's compared with birth control pills containing an older form of a progestin hormone. Researchers say the risk of blood clots is still very low and women should talk with a doctor about the risks. The 2 studies are published in the online version of the British Medical Journal. Drug makers, including Yaz manufacturer Bayer, dispute the findings and say that studies are flawed. Bayer says conclusions from the studies are unreliable and evidence shows Bayer's oral contraceptives are safe.
Winter is over, the sun is out, but people are still headed indoors to tan. Jeff Ackerman took a look at the health effects of this common tanning craze.
It turns your skin golden brown.
Business is good at the Tanning Gallery in Burlington, where Dennis Dang is the manager.
We have more, everybody of different age, from anywhere from 19, 18, all the way to 78.
Dang knows the reality. He agrees tanning beds can contribute to skin disease, but thinks it's safer tanning inside rather than outside.
Sometimes the people lay outside for 3 or 4 hours and fall asleep and they get burnt. And that's the only difference. But we're still trying to put the message out there to understand the balance of the UV ray and the sun exposure.
People who like to tan can either get a spray tan in the shower, or you can tan in tanning beds at reasonable time slots.
Even though tanning beds are controlled environments, studies show that people who tan are nearly 3 times as more likely to develop skin cancer. That's why this trend has caught the doctor's eye. Family nurse practitioner Tara Young says that voluntarily exposing your skin to radiation can cause visible skin defects.
You can increase your wrinkles, you can dry out the skin, it takes out the collagen in your skin.
Young says tanning outside is better than inside, but should still be done carefully.
I also think that healthy doses of sun and vitamin D in the sun is a good is a good choice for your health overall. With that being said, of course, that should be in moderation.
Dang says that people who tan indoors can get the same health benefits.
It's the same UV ray.
As long as it's done in balance. Jeff Ackerman, Phoenix 14 News Tonight.
Now, if you do tan outside, be sure to wear sunblock with at least 30 SPF and only tan in 15-minute increments.
Beautiful weather for tanning today, but the sun isn't sticking around. It was close to 90 today, but it's cooling down a little bit this week, and you'll want to carry an umbrella with you. Tomorrow's high is 83, and there's a chance for afternoon thunderstorms.
Wednesday's weather will be the same, high of 83 with a chance of storms. Thursday's high is 82 with more chances of thunderstorms.
Friday is going to be sunny, but a little cooler. The high will be 69. Saturday will be partly cloudy with the high of 77. 5 years old and already gearing up to retire. So long, Wii. We'll have more on the innovative game and its short shelf life.
Make it stop. Gas prices push $4 in parts of the U.S. We have the good and bad news of the gas price rolls. You probably don't remember where you were 10 months ago, but Apple iPhones do. 2 software hackers discovered that iPhones and iPads store information about your location, even when you turn off that feature. Apple says they store this data to improve location services.
But this information could get into the wrong hands. If a robber stole your phone, he could figure out where you live, or a hacker could get into the stored location information and track you. Also, police could subpoena the location information if you are suspected of a crime.
The Wii is headed for retirement. Once considered the cutting edge of video game technology, Nintendo says it will replace the Wii with a new system next year. The video game maker said it will reveal the new system at an expo in Los Angeles in June. The Wii launched in 2006, and Nintendo sold more than 86 million units of the gaming device.
You walk out in New York City, you hail a cab, they're supposed to take you anywhere, and you want to go to LA.
2,800 miles from New York to Los Angeles is a pretty long journey, and 2 men from New York are making the trip in a cab. The cross-country cab ride is already underway. The duo and their cab driver made it to LA in 6 days. The $5,000 trip is actually a bargain. At the cab rate in New York City, it would cost $17,000. The group also stopped off in Las Vegas and won $2,000.
Wow, the 2,800-mile trip would cost more than $400 in gas.
First, the bad news. Gas prices jumped 11 cents in the last 2 weeks.
But there's some good news. Prices may have finally peaked. That's according to the Lundberg nationwide service of gas stations. Analyst Tribley Lundberg found that the average hit $3.88 Sunday.
Lundberg says lower demand and slower growth of oil prices may keep gas from passing, the all-time record average of $4.11.
And fill up your car and keep money in your pocket with Phoenix 14's Pump Patrol. If you're willing to make the drive, the Flying J at the exit 150 has regular for $366. At the Kangaroo at the corner of Haggard and Williamson is at $371, and the Marathon up the road is at $374.
It's not just for wizards. We'll tell you about this grounded version of a magical game after the break.
The softball team hosted a weekend series against Western Carolina. One of the teams was fortunate enough to finish with a sweep. Find out who next in sports. Elon softball was at home to take on Western Carolina this weekend. Elon won the Friday game and the first game of the doubleheader on Saturday. With a win on Saturday afternoon, they would complete the sweep. We joined the action in the sixth inning as both teams got the majority of their hits late in the game. After Danielle Lafferty gets the first hit of the inning, Jackie Gonzalez swings for a hit that goes to center field. Then Carly Nestor reaches on a fielder's choice as Camille Hill comes in to score. The Phoenix were not done as Caitlin McGowan singles to the shortstop, who hesitates on where to throw the ball, and that gives pinch runner Hannah Shelton time to score. It's Tamika Watson's turn, and she hits one up the middle to bring home Nestor to give the Phoenix 3 runs in the inning. The fans cheers. The Phoenix go on to win a close one, Elon 7, Western Carolina 6. Elon now sweeps the series and now sports a 23-20 overall record. Plus, junior Danielle Lafferty was named the Southern Conference Softball Player of the Week. In the series against Western Carolina, she had 7 runs, including a 2-run game-winning homer. The baseball team lost a tough series this weekend at Georgia Southern 2-1. The good news is Coach Mike Kennedy amassed his 500th career win as the head coach of the Phoenix. Kennedy has been collecting wins since he began his head coaching stint in 1997. The men's tennis team entered the Southern Conference tournament as the top-seeded team. They fell to 5th-ranked Samford University in the tournament semifinals this past weekend. In national news, the NFL draft is just days away. One-on-One Sports will be hosting a draft show Thursday night. Today, I sat down with One-on-One reporter Josh Norris to tell us how the NFL lockout will affect this week's draft.
It's definitely going to affect the upcoming draft on April 28th because for multiple reasons. Actually, I'm only going to give you 2. The first, in previous years, remember Mario Williams, Sam Bradford, we knew who was going to get taken first overall because of contracts were already in place. This year, contracts can't be signed beforehand, so everyone's going to be surprised during that first overall pick. Second, these undrafted free agents, guys from Division I schools, Division II schools, Division III schools that want to get into a training camp later on, they're not going to be able to know where they're going to spend their summer because contracts can't be discussed until before Mr. Irrelevant's taken. So after that's taken, no one knows where they're going to be.
To find out more reasons why the lockout will affect the draft, check out the One-on-One special. The show is this Thursday from 8 till 11 on Channel 14. Sports fans be in Studio A during the fan party for One-on-One Sports Draft Live Special. The baseball team hosts Wake Forest on Tuesday beginning at 7 o'clock. Davidson then comes to Latham Park over the weekend starting with a 6:30 first pitch on Friday. The softball team plays at home as well as they host a doubleheader on Saturday against Radford, beginning at 1 o'clock. That's it for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Steve. That does it for this Phoenix 14 News.
Continue to follow us online for the news that matters to you.
We leave you tonight with shots of our beautiful campus during this wonderful weather. I'm Mallory Lane.
And I'm Jasmine Spencer. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week, Elon.